If you're waiting for a Parsha that's all about Chizuk, you've reached it in Parshat Behar. And it shall be if your friend will become impoverished and his hand will falter in your midst, strengthen that your friend, ger v'toshav, whether they're a stranger or a resident, so that they may live in your midst. Rashi explains, don't permit your friend to fall down. It'll be much harder to raise them up. Rather, Ella, strengthen them from the moment that their hand falters, pick them up immediately, strengthen them, hold them, and raise them up. That's been one of my core messages all of these weeks. This past week, we passed, of course, the sad anniversary of 2 full months since the day that we withdrew from the physical building of Or Torah. But virtually, our shul keeps on going. I want to commend all of the people, the Yad Or Torah co-chairs, the Yad Or Torah helpers, the College Corps helpers, the 20 neighborhood captains, the executive board, everyone, the youth department, anybody and everyone, the ritual committee, everyone who's making the shul continue to be as vibrant as it is. Thank you. But I also want to reach out and make an appeal today. You have the power within you to be mechazek someone else. You don't even realize how much that phone call might mean. We need to keep going. We need to be able to mechazek others, to realize that actually it's in our parsha. Now, it's true. The parsha was talking in a very physical sense. It goes on to describe, don't take advantage of such a person. When you support them, means financially, don't take interest. That's rebit. But the Chachamim in the Medrash Rav Vayikra Rabbah actually did understand this much more on an emotional or spiritual plane. Here's what they did. The Chachamim describe a pasuk from the book of Mishlei. Rash v'ish techachim nifgeshu, an impoverished or destitute person and a man who can cut things up, which is an expression meaning a person with great intellectual ability. The two of them encounter each other. And the Medrash describes Rash Zehu Rash Batorah, means a poor person who is impoverished in their Torah knowledge. V'ish techachim, a person who has these ideas, the sophistication. Zesh Shoneh Seder Oshnei Sdarim, a person who can learn, basically. Amad Rash in Ish techachim v'amar le, said the destitute person to the one who was the sophisticate. He said to him, Hashnini Perak Echad, teach me one thing. V'yishnehu, he taught him. Me'ir Einei Shnehem Hashem. The end of that same pasuk from Mishlei, God will bring light into the eyes of both of them. Kanu ha'olam hazeh ve'olam haba. They acquire a share to come in the next world, and even a share in this world as well. The Sfat Emet took this one step farther. He said, actually, sheyesh b'koach ish lahachazik b'yad chaveiro shemata yado v'chai imach, meaning an individual should realize that they have the power within them to strengthen the hand of their fellow who might have faltered. And what are those last 2 words of that clause? V'chai imach. It will live in your midst. Ki anekuda chiyut yachol litpashet ad ein shir. Because of the point of the animated spirit that you have within you can actually expand without limit, meaning it can help someone else. And this is what it means when we say Birkat Hamazon, Hazan het haolam kulo b'to'oseh bar Hashem. He sustains the entire world, all of it, everything. It explains the Sfat Emet. This refers to all of the needs of the world, physical and spiritual. Rak shemekabim tzrichim litached latet zeh lazeh ba'achdut echad. But what is needed is that the recipients need to be able to unite, to give to one another that which they are missing, and to unite together. V'az ein machzor davar. Then there is nothing lacking. And since your friend will falter or become impoverished, again, not only financially, for sure, the help is found with you. Individual says to themselves, I don't have that within me, I don't see it within me. With regard to this, that the Medrash teach, Me'ir Einei Shnehem Hashem, that God brings light to the eyes of both of them. through their unity, their unification of the one helping the other, light will come to the eyes, not only of the recipient, but also of the giver. I want to leave you with a story of failure and success. It's the story of Rabbi Meir Shapira, who is well known as the founder of the Daf Hayomi program. He's also the one who built the most magnificent yeshiva, the last yeshiva built in Europe, in Lublin, Yeshivat Chochmei Lublin. Sadly, its students and its Sfarim were emptied out by the Nazis, Yamach Shemam, in 1940. But in 1929, the yeshiva had not been built yet. It was only built in the early 30s. But Meir Shapiro went to the United States to collect money for his students to be able to build the yeshiva. He came back, and they came to greet him, and they were expectant what he was going to say about how much he had collected. And of course, when he came, he was extremely depressed. And they asked him, "What's wrong, Rebbe? Did you not get as much as you wanted?" He was pacing back and forth. He said to them, so goes the story, "It's worse than that. I spent more in my cost to go to America than it cost me, than what I made in terms of the monies that I collected." Of course, 29 was the Great Crash and the Great Depression. But the students said, who were there, that he started pacing and started repeating a pasuk from Sefer Tehillim, from the 94th chapter. We say the Shir Shel Yom every Wednesday. Imamarti mata ragli. If I said to myself, my foot has faltered, I'm stumbling, meaning I'm going to fall down, Chazdecha Hashem yisadeni. Your kindness, Hashem, will be of help to me. It will support me. Yisadeni, support me. Birov sarapai b'kirbi. In the great anxiety that is within me, Tanchumecha yishashu nafshi. Your consolations, Hashem, will soothe my soul. He made these words, these two psukim, into a nigun. And I'm including the link to that nigun underneath this video. Please listen to the nigun. It's the actual nigun sung by Rav Meir Shapiro, later redone by later performers. And we know this nigun that came to us from Talmidim from the yeshiva. And the story was told by Moshe Porat, a man is a Holocaust survivor from Kibbutz Shluchot, who was a Holocaust survivor from Hungary. He told this story to Rav Tamir Granot, one of the Rosh Yeshivat Orot Shaul in Tel Aviv, that when he was a little boy in the early 30s, a man came from Lublin to his town in Hungary and taught all the boys in the cheder the nigun, Im Amarti Mata Ragli Chazdecha Hashem Yisadeni, Rav Apai Bekirbi, Tanchumecha Yishashu Nafshi. And he said that when he was on the train to Auschwitz in 1944, he sang that nigun the entire train ride. And as it happens, the train was diverted and they ended up in Mauthausen. He survived the war. But that's a song and a nigun that hopefully, even now, we can draw strength from Rav Meir Shapira, the great Rosh Yeshivat Chochmei Lublin. The yeshiva is no more, but the enduring legacy is not only the Daf Hayomi program, learning a daf a day. It's also the legacy of this nigun at a time of great trial, challenge, and a sense of embattlement, to be able to turn once again and to realize that Kadosh Baruch Hu is with us. If we can be that individual, can be mechazek someone else, if our brethren have perhaps fallen, become impoverished, and their hand has faltered in our midst, we should give that person chizuk, and thereby receive chizuk as well. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom.